guys, William. Today is another mashup. I really feel like this one is going to hit home for people that are feeling worthless, feeling like they're just stuck in life, feeling like they're doing everyone else's dreams and not really pursuing their passion. And I kind of dive in a little bit deeper with, some of my colleagues, some of my friends, and we talk a little bit about their journey and how they're making things happen and still working a day job. Just know that you are perfect the way you are, that you got to do what you got to do to pay the bills. You got to do whatever you got to do, but make time for yourself, no matter what. All right, let's jump in.
For the record, I'm done trying to make y'all comfortable. Running through it with the young influence, had a less impressions, I'm succumbing to it. I've been giving yeses when I shouldn't do it. I complete a check, but the rules elusive, and I'm barely moving, but I'm still gon' boost 'em. I can't work on winners when I know you're losing, so I work the winners and they throw the losers. Guess I have to pivot, shooting no bazookas for the facts. I need racks, get out the cash, make the tax. That's a joke, tell 'em I'm laugh. Uncle Sam, got the bag, buddy, black, get 'em on back. Contract, give me the facts. I got laugh, on my black, you ain't that, then it's facts.
Whoa. Just drive is good.
So, I knew Micah before he was doing, I don't want to say he was doing car stuff. I knew Micah, were you doing car stuff when I met you?
I was kind of in between a lot of things.
He was still finding his passion. Like, what are your thoughts on following your passion and doing what you have to do to survive, Cody?
I think you always should. It doesn't. I think everybody creates these excuses, and so if you're looking here for the book, I have kids, I don't have the money to, I don't have the time, or whatever. But your passion, and that's where you're gonna live the best. That's where you're gonna express yourself the most, and that's where you're gonna be your best. And I think whatever it takes, whatever situation you've gotten yourself into, whatever society has led you to believe, it's important that when you realize what your passion is, to get back to that and to do whatever it takes, because I feel like it's kind of sacrificing your life to kind of just fall into the norms of what people expect you to do, where people want you to go.
Want to be firefighter, EMS worker, and, like I said, cars is just something that I kept coming back to and never could seem to escape from or get away from.
Okay. I went to college, I wanted to major in graphic design and do my thing. And what I struggle with is when you decide to start college, when you decide to take a degree, you don't jump right into the classes that you want to take. A lot of times you have to take a lot of core classes or even pre-core classes just to get to that. And that's usually the first 2 years of your degree. So what happens for most of us that, work minimum wage jobs, that don't have scholarships, that don't have, mom and dad to run to or whatever, is we end up hopefully getting FAFSA to pay for our books and going to a community college and taking 4 classes, which I think is 16 credit hours actually. Yeah, 16 for a full load, so you can get it done as fast as you do. You think, I can get this done, It's got to hold out for a while, and then you go work for 40 hours at a job you hate, and it just does something to your soul. That's what I was struggling with. That's what I was dealing with. And not only that, I was also freelancing. I was also trying to figure out a way to scrape by and turn my passion into something that could get me out of this shithole, right? I've always been self-taught. I've always taken that time to go to Barnes & Noble. This is where you go to when you used to go to Barnes & Noble. Go to Barnes & Noble, read every design book I could find, every web book I could find. This is when they wrote web books. You literally be looking at the book going back and forth. So it's crazy to me. It's so crazy to me. And that was when I pretty much made the biggest mistake of my life, because I really thought I had it so hard, and it turned out I didn't have it hard. And I think this is what allowed me to get to where I needed to be.
14 and what have you, was a lot of mistakes, a lot of lost opportunities, a lot of squandered opportunities, a lot of immaturity.
Really gonna focus on just like mental health, happiness, and just motivation, because that's what I've been struggling with for the past week. Everything on the outside, everything that I've been doing that has, you know, as I grow, all is what I love, you know what I mean? Like I've got this amazing new camera. Like my birthday was pretty good. It was great. Like it was subtle. But inside I've been feeling like this weird, I don't want to say depression, just
pleasing the in-laws, pleasing everybody. Like you're going to be your best self being yourself. You know, when you're trying to be somebody else and you're trying to please somebody else, it's just not going to work out. Not going to work out for the people you're trying to please. Not going to work out for you.
That might be the title of the film right there. Your best self being yourself. So it's easy for us to say, right? We're making money, but like, what do you have to say about like when you're dead broke and you got to find a job? Like, how do you how do you do your passion in that struggle? Like, how do you make that happen?
You're gonna have to put your head down, and you're gonna have to do some awful jobs, like whatever you can get at the time. Like Casey Neistat preaches about how he scrubbed the bottom of pots in a restaurant and dish pit for 2 years, and he absolutely hated that job, and that drove his passion to get out of there and do something he wanted to do.
What should I do if I get rejected from an easy college? I think you should just look at that as maybe a sign. And by that, I mean that no, you're not dumb. It might be that they specifically are looking for a white collar, or they're looking for something that matches their curriculum or what they think will make their school look the best, when you may be perfect already. And they're in debt. They're 100,000 in debt, 50,000 in debt. Student loans. And then you have the people that do say make it, right? And they took the job because it wasn't really even their passion. They're like, I gotta make some money. And they end up making, say 40 or 50 or whatever that is, and they hate the field they're in. And they end up dropping that whole thing. They took 6 years out of their life. And I'm not saying that 6 years is useless in college, and it's not, but it's like, is there a better way to spend 50 grand, 100 grand?
It's just a lot of crap happened, got arrested.
Got arrested?
Yeah, I know.
Hold on, we gotta get the eggs.
I was just about to do my OJ piece.
All right, we're on the mission right here. Nope, I don't trust that one bit. Make sure they're actually good.
Are they intact?
We know how this camera likes to cut off auto, so we're gonna stop and start. Okay.
So it's like, I was just about to do my...
Hold that.
Wow. Well, it's just about
pull it out like a...
Just about to do my best OJ impression.
How to vlog.
Just about to do my best OJ impression. I didn't do it. People were furious. No, anyways, moving on. But, so there's, so through that time period or what have you, like from what was this, 2014 to 2015, 16, in between trying to find myself, of course, and what have you. At this point, I'm in South Carolina living.
To hold off your happiness for 4 years, and it's usually not 4 years because you, like me, I failed a lot of my core classes. I'd pass one class and I'd fail or drop like 3 other classes because I had shit going on, whether it was relationships, whether it was, something bad timing in life. I couldn't get to school. I missed too many days. I had to jobs don't care about your school most times. Like, either like, okay, well, I guess you don't work with us, and you're like, fuck. So, school or work? Work, I gotta pay my bills. Okay, I'm gonna switch it back real quick. So you went through a lot of like doubt as to what you should be doing in life. You tried a lot of things. About 10 years pass as you try this, and you seem to kind of go towards the automotive. When did you decide to make the shift to being your own manager, your own boss? How scary was it? And when did you just start paying yourself fully? How did you make that transition?
Wow, that's a whole lot of history there.
That's good.
Anyway,
In 2 minutes.
so anyways, about 2014, so sometime between the time that I was still working in a shop and also, working for somebody else, and between transitioning between a shop, automotive, dealership life, and working for somebody else as a roadside assistance provider, I just kind of felt like there was a better way to do this.
And that's where you're gonna find it. Like, I've been doing the same stuff for the last 3 or 4 years now. It's not awful stuff. It's not as bad as scraping, food off of the bottom of a pot in a dish pit. But it's not stuff that I see a career in, and it's made me realize that, I spend 40 plus hours a week doing something that I don't like, and I could spend those 40 hours developing myself, putting myself into something, creating work that I believe in, and putting it out there and becoming a better version of me. But yeah, I'm building somebody else's dream right now.
Yeah. Because when you're a parent, I mean, you have to step up, and you have to be that. You have to make shit happen. There's nothing else you can do about it. Like, when you don't have a kid, you don't have a partner, you don't have whatever. You can, if you want to move in with some roommates, you want to do whatever, you can get cheap rent, you can do that stuff. But when you have kids, you've got a responsibility. And this is probably the biggest mistake I feel like I've made almost in my life. This is when we were, Laura was pregnant with King, and I was like, let's move to Kentucky. Let's make this happen. Let's move to Kentucky. There's so much cheap rent there, etc., whatever. And like, I literally pretty much took our family. Oh, don't go off on me. Stay up Facebook Live. I hope that didn't change anything. Dope. I literally moved to Kentucky with like $0 to like $25. I don't even know, $50 to my pocket, and just put us in a crazy financial crisis. That's the situation that I did for 2.5, probably more than that, 2.5 years. And I still, after 2 years, even though I knew what I wanted to do, and even though I was doing kind of my own thing on the side, this is how I kept myself happy, I was still stuck in pretty much a freshman kind of state, because I was taking a lot of pre-classes. So there's that. So I get that. And then 2, there's the promise of a degree, the promise of a job after you get this degree. You've been reaching for 5-6 years, however long it is. You've been doing good. You've been pushing hard. And a lot of times you'll look at people, they have a degree, and it's like, I'm working McDonald's, or I'm working for $20,000 a year, or whatever that might be. They're not happy. Skip the college, save yourself money, save yourself debt. Save yourself the despair and heartache of feeling like you're a failure because you didn't go to college, and just do whatever it is that you love. Point where you're like, man, screw my bosses, I'm out of here anyway, so I got no other choice but to just make it work? Or was it I'm just gonna do it?
It was just kind of I'm gonna do it, and I was doing mechanical work.
Most people are I quit, and then 2 weeks later they're like, crap, I shouldn't have done that. I ain't got no money.
I need this job back. No, because I actually, like I said, that whole working on the side thing helped a lot. I was doing mechanical work, and then I actually had a relatively decently flowing.
So you stacked up relationships and money.
I did.
It's this weirdness where I'm letting my expectations and my happiness and all that just feeling all sorts of blindsided. When you go to work, as much as, and this is another reason why I started doing this, as much as I love my job, at New Human, I'm helping build their dream and their passion, and I'm invested in it. I really love it. And sometimes you get jobs where you freaking hate wherever you're at, which is most 98% of the world. But even if you do that, that's still not building something for yourself.
Right, and it's fine that you're, at least when you're going to work, you are building somebody else's dream, But in turn, you're kind of training yourself to start building your own. I'm not saying it's bad to help other people build their dreams, but let it be work that you're interested in as well.
I'm driving, yeah, I'm speeding on a leash. Yeah, yeah, oh Lord, way to go. Agents on my phone, we be on the road like we on the boat. Yeah, 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 right or wrong, I don't even know. All my conscience gone, I don't even know. All my conscience.
Like, look, I can work, you know, your mid shift, I can work whatever it is you need me in between. And I do blame him, but I actually don't blame him at the same time. I understand the availability thing, but like, he didn't want to work at all with my schedule, period. I was like, look, I can make 30 hours. And you know, when you're a parent and you get cut down to 20 hours, you put in good work, but 20 hours, you can't survive off 20 hours. I was making $10 at the time, you know, which was still, like, I was happy with $10 because it was something. It was better. I was working at the factory for like $10 or whatever. So I was mad happy to make coffee for $10 and chill and do my thing and just be happy with that. But when you're cut down to 20 hours, that's 20 hours. You can't feed a family off 20 hours. So you have to get in grind mode. You have to do something. Advice for anyone that is thinking about getting into the automotive, like car business, like maintenance specifically, what would you give to yourself 10 years ago, or people that are thinking about doing it?
Run away as fast as you can. I mean, it really has to be something you're committed to. I mean, because if you get into this and you're not committed to it, or you have a quick burnout, or you know, things like that, you're not going to enjoy it. You know, the passion, or the reason, the common denominator as to why I enjoy all the things that I do, automotive related, is due to actually liking problem solving, liking fixing things, proving people wrong. You know that there's a piece of the pie out there for everybody. You just got to find out what yours is, what your niche is. You know, especially if you're struggling with, you know, if you have an identity crisis and things like that. You know, who you are is going to be largely based on what problem you are designed to solve. We're all designed to solve a problem. Usually whatever problem it is we're designed to solve, that's where our income is going to be based in.
If you're a rapper, if you're a singer, if you're an artist, if you're a guitar player, if you're anything that you can think of, whatever you want to be, like, you get started by watching and then you start learning and doing. That's the most important part. And I finally stumbled upon this one design class, that I was like, wow, like, it woke me up. Like, I saw the book. I don't have a physical book with me. It's kind of crazy in today's age, but I literally opened the book and turned to like this like lingerie ad or whatever. It was like a three-part ad. And I saw how it was so simple. This is me in love with my passion. You can't do something every single day that you hate. I hate it. So let's get on with the question. It's been such a journey, and I remember the first book I picked up, I don't have it with me, I gave it to a friend, and I'm gonna find it for our next episode. It was the very first book I picked up on graphic design, and it changed my life. It changed how I thought about everything. Like, understanding like the very, very core principles of things we see today. And I just remember that feeling. So I want to give that to you. If you are a creative with kids, you're trying to figure out how to navigate graphic design, you're trying to figure out how to code, you're trying to figure out how to create films, how to make it in today's social media world, I want to give that back. I want to, all the knowledge, all the things that I've kind of benefited from the past 100,000 hours plus of me doing and learning, I want to push that forward so that you guys out there can benefit from it. It's on the record, and it's just part of, I think it's just part of the creative world. I hope you enjoyed that one. It definitely, like, doing these mashups, it's taking me out of the macro of just a singular day. Yeah, it tightens in the background. You guys know it's like 4 or 5 a.m. right now. But it's taking me out of the macro and letting me see, like, the scale of things, conversations I've had with you guys, Cody, Micah, Nathan, you know, Steven, even you seeing me yesterday and just being like, hey man, I love you, like, what's up? That means a lot to me. And you guys are definitely worth it. You guys are really, no matter what you want to do, no matter what it is that you're doing in life, just know that you're valued and I appreciate you. Alright, bye guys.